money is a lot like air. It's not a really big deal as long as you have some. Is that a good start? So what we're going to cover in the next 4-part series is, why do couples fight? Why do they fight about certain things? And what makes those fights so common? In this particular video, we're going to talk about money, because everyone seems to fight about money in one way, shape, or form. And when people do fight about money, it's usually because of one of 3 things. The first one is, for most of us anyway, it's pretty scarce. We don't have a lot of it, and we would like more of it. And if we did, we feel like our lives would be easier. And as guys, this can hit us particularly hard because a lot of us see ourselves as the breadwinners in the family. And if we don't have enough money, it's because we're not bringing enough home. So my first piece of advice is, don't let that emotion, don't let that responsibility that you've put on yourself enter into this arrangement. The second thing people usually fight about is who makes the money. I remember in my marriage, about a year after I got married, I lost my job. And for a long period of time, I wasn't making money anymore. And I was like the housewife. And it was super awkward for me to like be, a contributor into the family the way I wanted to contribute when I wasn't making any money. And that whole scenario can add a lot of stress to your relationship. So make sure that you're not putting value on who you are as a person by how much money you're bringing into the household. And the third thing couples usually fight about is really who spends the money and maybe what they spend it on. And while it's very difficult, if not impossible, to control how a person wants to spend their money, what you can do is start by agreeing on the things you guys should be spending your money on. And I remember for me and my wife, what really helped is when I brought her into the bills and budgeting process. When I brought her into that process, I found that it was a lot easier to get on the same page about how we wanted to spend our money, what we ended up spending our money on. So what I'm curious from you guys is, how do you handle that in your marriage? What do you guys do? How do you respond to that particular scenario? Make sure you put that in the comments below, and I'll respond to as many of them as I can. And then after that, subscribe to the channel, which I have both my hands in the shot. So a little this way now, about here. Subscribe to the channel when you're done. We'll see, that might be funny. If it's not funny, we can just cut it out. You think that's all right? Not too cheesy?
You had your I think I'm funny face at the last second, and you're like...
Okay, well, I'll make sure to cut that out.